Hey everybody, it's Claude from C&G Rip House. We're going to go ahead and rip this thing right here, Vintage Mystery Packs. I've never ripped one of these before. We'll see what we got in here. Comment down below if you got anything, if you've ripped one of these things before. If you got anything cool. I've never even heard about these before. I mean, I've seen them, but I've never heard about anybody doing any of these or seen any videos of any of it. So this is kind of a new thing for me. Let's see what it's got in here. All right, we've got a 1950. What is this? And that's a bad thing about these old cards is they don't have the dates on them. I'm gonna say like 56. I don't really know. Eddie Casco. I'm not real sure who that is. Okay, so first pack is a bust. Unless this Eddie Casco guy is someone who's a big star that I just don't know about. Luis Mercedes, Bob Patterson, Dan Gladden. There's a Don Mattingly. That may be a corners being. That may be a maybe a 3-cent card there. Ooh, Paul Molitor. Ooh, that's an old Paul Molitor. That is his 4th year card, and it's in pretty good condition. Okay, that's cool. Lonnie Smith. If it was the other Smith, I would like it. But Lonnie ain't bad. Not a Hall of Famer or anything. Steve Hargan. That is 78. Yeah, no, 77. 77. Mike Blowers. Frank Viola. Mitch Williams. This is going to be a long video. I'm going to edit this down a lot. Jose Mesa. Randy Myers. Frank DePino. Harold Baines. Collector's Choice. I like them. They're good looking cards. Oh, a Reggie Jackson is off center pretty bad. 1978 Reggie Jackson. Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. Tito Landrum. Roger Metzger. Brad Pennington. Paul Kilgus. Tom Foley. I feel like I need some music or something to be doing this with. It's going to take so long. But the problem is, I think YouTube wouldn't want me posting that. All right, this is Dave Henderson, I believe. Dave Henderson. I've got about 15 of those cards already. Luis Rivera. David Cohn. Not bad. Reggie Sanders, I believe. Oh, that's Eric Davis. Oh, see, I think Eric Davis should be a Hall of Famer. Look at this. All right, dude. This is cool. This is really cool. And it is... Oh, it's got a ding on the corner up here on the top right. I'm not going to grade a 10. I might grade a 9 though. Let's see. Got a ding on this corner. Okay, so it's centered really. Yeah, pretty well. Well, okay, it's a little closer on the left than it is on the right. I'd say centering's 9. Man, that card might grade a 9. Okay, that's a score right there. Because I love Ken Griffey Jr. and I have been wanting that card since I was, how old was I? 10 years old. And I saw it when Don Russ came out, or not Don Russ, when Upper Deck came out with that card. Boy, I would go down to I buy pack after pack. The packs were expensive, so I couldn't get any. And I chased that card as much as I could, and I never could get one. And the guy that owned the card shop had one sitting in there for $40, and I just could not. I couldn't do it. I couldn't ever save up $40 for it. But I have wanted that card my entire life. That is so cool that I finally got one. Cool. That's going in my personal collection, by the way. Jose Cruz, Diamond King. That's kind of a cool card. Jose Cruz, Diamond King. All right, rookies. That's an old rookies. Mickey Klutz, Billy Allman, Tommy McMillan, and Mark Wagner. Don't think there's any stars in that. Orestes Estrada, Mickey Tettleton, and Ron Darling. All right, cool. Man, I'm excited about that King Griffey. That is cool. Man, luckily I just have my razor blade sitting right here, so I'll just do it like this. So this one's sharp. And careful not to cut your paper. Of course, I will say this, these things are packed well. These packs are Pretty well taken there. All right, Dave Concepcion. Okay, that's a star. Damon Berryhill, Scott Terry, Manny Lee, Jack Aker. What is up with that hat? Look at the hat on that thing. It's like blacked out or something. What is that? I wonder if it is. I don't know. So this is a 1968 card. I'm familiar with it because it's Nolan Ryan's rookie card year. I'm not real sure about Jack Aker. I think he's kind of a semi-star. Dwight Evans, okay. I got a little Dwight Evans collection going. 85 Donruss, that's a nice card. I'll take it. Jerry Augustine, Gold Cup. Not real sure who Jerry Augustine is. Steve Cook. There's a Wade Boggs 1990 score. Hall of Famer. Of course not. Okay, so this ain't bad. I'm liking it. Got my King Griffey Jr. rookie card that I've always wanted my entire life, and I've never bought one. I always figured I would, I don't know, pull one, I don't know, come across one on eBay or something. But you know, that card, well, it's kind of one of those ones that you want it graded real high, you know. So you kind of need to pull one out of a pack. But that one's in good condition. It might grade a 9. I'd have to look at it further, but just kind of looking at it cursory, I would say it's probably got a good shot at grading a 9. Ken Daly, Jerry Rios, Ray Sanchez, Dave Gallagher, Randy Reddy, Adolfo Phillips. I wonder if this guy's good. Let's see, lifetime batting average. Oh wait, that is probably a rookie card. So batted 268 as a rookie. Oh, Philadelphia, Chicago. So maybe not a rookie card. Maybe a third-year card or a second-year card. Okay, Adolfo Phillips. I'm gonna have to look that up. I'm not familiar with him. Bob Stanley, Tom Poquette, Gold Cup, Scott Survey, Jeff Robinson. Twins leaders, that is Mickey Hatcher, Melito Perez, Willie Randolph, Tom Brunensky, John Candelaria, and Frank Tanana. ERA leaders, it's a good card. It's in really good condition. Phil Garner, Roger Metzger, Darren Dalton, Carlos Quintana, and Roy Smith. John Wathan, Edgar Martinez. Oh, it's a 93. His rookie was 87. But that is a Hall of Famer. Jim Gantner, Tom Candiotti, Steve Keeley, pitcher, 1970, tops. Jose Rijo, he's good. That may be his rookie card there. Oh man, it's got wax on the back. Jose Rijo, that might be worth some money. Jim Hughes, Pete Incaviglia, R.J. Reynolds, Terry Steinbeck. Chris Bando, Tommy Green, Wally Backman, Vance Law, Vince Coleman, he was good, Carlos Quintana, Todd Worrell, Dave Rosello, Bob Johnson, Orioles. They've got this in a plastic. Mike Marshall, Diamond King. I collect all the Diamond Kings that I can get my hands on. Reds leaders, there's Concepcion right there on the Reds leaders card. Brooke Jacoby, Al Nipper. This is Ruben Sierra, collector's choice card. I'm a Ruben fan. He was one of my favorites back in the day. Okay, Chuck Cottier, Washington Senators, second baseman. That's a 1962 card. Man, that's pretty cool. It's in really good condition too. All right, that's cool, man. 1962 card. Enos Cable, Pat Dobson, Joey Cora, Mike Hanneman, Jeff Russell. All right, Doug Jones, Scott Livingston. That's a Gold Cup. I can't remember. That one may be a pretty good card. Danny Darwin, collector's choice of Frank Viola. Bill Fisher, pitcher of the Twins. Okay, Bill Fisher. Tito Landrum, Jim Slayton, Joe Carter. All right, I'm a Joe Carter fan. Doug Trebek and Derek Lilliquist. Harold Reynolds. Okay. JT Brewitt, Curtis Wilkerson, Walt Terrell, Mike Andrews, 1970. 268 lifetime average. 563 hits, 47 home runs. Not bad. I'm not familiar with him, but looks like a decent player. Gary Ronicki, Bob Gritch, All-Stars. Tim Raines. Tim Raines, is he a Hall of Famer? I can't remember. Rhino, that's kind of a cool card. Dream Team, 1990 score. How have I never seen this card before? A Rhino Dream Team from 1990 score. Huh. All right, Joel Youngblood, Rafi Palmeiro, Don Carmen, Barry Larkin, Hall of Famer. It's a junk wax, but you know, it is what it is. It's the first year of the upper deck, just like the Griffey Jr. rookie. Rich McKinney. That is, what year is this? 72. Okay. Rich McKinney, 1972. It's in good shape. Rich Gedman, Elliot Maddox, Felix Jose, Carlos Quintana, Kenny Rogers. Tom Glavine in the back. Dan Gackler, Dave Stewart. That's in 1993, I think. Yeah. Dave Stewart, he was good. Don Slott, John Farrell, Todd Zeal, Steve Farr, Joe Kerrigan, Steve Henderson, and Napoleon Calzado, Royal Rookies, authentic autograph. Oh, there's an autograph right there. Authentic autograph, number 284, 4,950, Royal Napoleon Calzado. I don't know who that is. Royal Rookies 2000. Okay. Set that over there. Tom Glavine. That's kind of my luck on autograph cards, though. I very rarely pull autos that are, well-known players. Hey, Gary Carter, 1986 Topps. I do not have that one yet. And I broke a 1986 Topps box not too long ago. See the video down below. Geronimo Pena, Jose Alvarez, Jeff Robinson, Jim Ferry, Dave Winfield. That one might be worth a little bit of money. Dave Winfield. 85, Don Russ. Rick Jones, Mariners pitcher. Gary Reedus. Hey, there's my boy, Ricky Henderson. All right. It's my second favorite player ever. And that's late enough where he was the designated hitter. Was it 1983? I think Ricky Henderson had 130 stolen bases that year. Can you imagine? Like, how do you even get on base that many times to steal that many bases? It's crazy. Okay, let's check out what we got. Edgar Martinez. Bob Johnson and Bill Fisher are both old cards, and not familiar with them. Adolfo Phillips. I think I remember that card being worth some money. Jack Aker. I'll have to check that out. Dwight Evans. King Griffey Jr. rookie card. That's the card. The card to have in the junk wax era. Ricky and Rhino. Dave Winfield. Chuck Hottier. 1962 Topps. Paul Molitor. Old Paul Molitor. Some good collector's choice guys. All right. We'll be back to rip the next. This is how many packs we have left. See y'all later. Yeah, really the only card we got worth anything is the King Griffey rookie. And that'll have to be graded to be really worth something. So not a whole lot yet. Blue Jays leaders. And this is Jim Clancy. Dan Serafini. Tom Pagnozzi. Sean Hillegas. Al Ferrara. Terry Francona. Darrell Evans. Terry Lavolo. Ron Oster. Mike Devereaux. I was going to look up how much I paid for this. Well, because one of the things on this channel is I want to, give you guys the information that you need to empower you to buy some of this stuff or not buy some of this stuff based on, hey, is this worth it, right? Rick Miller, Brent Maine, Louis Polonia, Terry Steinbach. Is that a rookie? No. Okay, here's an auto. Maglio Ordonez. Never heard of him. From 02 Topps Baseball. Okay. He's got a nice autograph. Dennis Eckersley from Donruss 85. 6th year card. I like Eckersley. He was cool. Don Baylor, another. This guy is. He was good. He's not quite a Hall of Famer, I don't think, but he was good. Doug Brocale, Luis Salazar, Bobby Witt. Okay, so basically this box was $100. So I'm hoping that there's a little something more in this thing. Now the King Griffey Jr. rookie, if it grades, if it were to grade 10, I mean, that Ken Griffey Jr. rookie graded 10 is worth 1,000, but it's not going to grade 10 in its current condition. Steve Yeager. That's pretty cool. Jay Howell. Jeff Russell. Kelly Downs. Okay, here's something, maybe. Vita Blues. It's a little something. Bill Schrader. Dave Kingman. Andres Galarraga. I wonder if Andres is going to be in the hall one day. Let's see, 279 average. He was good. Oh, look at that. There's Nolan. Of course, it's a very common Nolan, but look at that condition. That might grade 10 right there. We'll have to check that out. See what it does. So one thing that I've learned with this grading deal is if you're new at it, is it worth it, right? So on the grading thing, I started grading. I've had I've had 3 sets of cards graded from PSA. 1 set graded from Beckett. And let's go through this real quick. Kevin Roman, Mark Gardner, Sherman Corbett, Terry Kennedy, Dan Plesac, and that's a good looking card, Wes Covington. Boy, I wish I could hit one of these that's like a Hank Aaron or something. I bet that's Hank's teammate, maybe. Wes Covington. 171 games, so a little over a year. Batting average of 283, 23 home runs in that time. This dude's not bad. Vic Mata, Don Hood, Cal Eldred, Joe Carter. So one thing about those old cards like that, the cool thing about the cards coming out of this is that they're in really good condition. The guys that broke these took really good care of them, right? But problem is, are they going to grade at 10? You know, which that Wes Covington, it's not going to grade at 10 because the centering's really bad. It's probably going to be no greater than a 6, probably. Ruben Sierra. I'm a fan of Ruben Sierra. Those late 80s Rangers were my favorites. Cesar Hernandez, late 80s, early 90s. The ones that played with Nolan Ryan, they're like my favorites. Because that's when I got into baseball, or card collecting. And they had some good teams. They just never would do anything in the playoffs. Or even make the playoffs. They'd make good runs after the All-Star breaks, it seemed like always. All right, so Alan Trammell. He's a Hall of Famer. Ron Brand, catcher for the Astros. Glenn Brummer. Bert Hooton. Terry Steinbeck, again. Terry Steinbeck's one of those guys that's kind of like, do I collect them or not? You know, do I keep his cards in a book where they're easily accessible, or does it go in a box? All right, there's a Hall of Famer, but yeah, I've got like 6 or 7 of these cards. Andre Dawson is who that was. Dave Stieb, Junior Ortiz. There's Wade. Another Upper Deck Collector's Choice. All right, here's a Chipper Jones R-Class jersey. Ooh, a jersey card from 2004. Okay, dude. That's not bad. Look at that. R-Class jersey. That's not a bad card at all, man. The corners are a little worn. It won't grade a 10, but man, that's a nice card. I like that. Chipper Jones jersey card from 2004. Wow. I don't think jersey cards were very prevalent back then. Bill Doran, another Don Baylor. This one's not centered as well as the previous one. Mike Morgan. I don't know if Don Baylor's going to be one of those guys that's gradable, but if that card is, you know, if it'll grade a 10, which Don Baylor, it looks like it might grade a 10. Anyway, so back to grading. I sent in just some cards, you know, that I wanted to get graded. I didn't really consider their condition very well. So it was a learning experience. It cost me some money, you know. But, I mean, that's kind of the whole thing about, I don't know, going into business, you know, me trying to sell off my collection just because it's getting too big. You know, it's kind of like going into business. You got to spend money to learn the lessons that you need to learn. Mike Trujillo, Jeff Ennis, Dave Bergman, unless, of course, you're lucky enough to have, you know, like a parent or something that had a business. Tony Gwynn. Tony Gwynn, and this is Second year card, 83 tops, Tony Gwynn. That's second. That might be a rookie. I don't know. I don't know if they had him in the 82 set. I'll have to look that up, but that's a big one right there, Tony Gwynn. Either first year or second year card. Okay, this thing's starting to hit a little bit. Lonnie Smith. Already got one of those earlier. Rookie pitchers, Ed Glenn, Larry Anderson, Joe Henderson, Greg Terlecki. Interesting. Benito Santiago, quality catcher. Brett Maine, Joe Ursulak. Okay, so you spend money to learn the lessons when you're doing a business, right? So what I learned is that you really need to do your due diligence on these cards that you send in, because if the card grades lower than really if it grades 8 or lower, unless it's like a vintage card that's like old vintage cards, like pre-70s, unless it's something like that, it's got to grade greater than an 8 to be even worth it. Even if they're a 9, if they come back as a 9, they're usually only going to be worth the money that you spent to get them graded, and that's not worth your time, right? Steve Braun, Greg Hibbard, Rick Shue, Roberto Alomar. Okay, there's a Hall of Famer. Is that second year card, maybe a rookie? That's that 89 upper deck set. Boots Day, Dan Pasqua, Gary Sutherland. Ooh, cool. A Diamond King, Gary Sheffield from 1993. I don't know if I've ever seen Diamond Kings from this year. That is a cool looking card. Okay, Kenny Rogers and Kirby Puckett. So that's the thing about grading. Oh man, that was the last pack. The rest of it's full of padding. I was thinking this is a layer and there's something else underneath. Okay, there it is. That's the conclusion. So I got some good ones here. That Chipper Jones jersey card and that Tony Gwynn 1983. That Donruss Diamond King behind it too is very interesting to me. Oh wait, one more pack. Sorry. Sorry guys. Okay, so this one has what, the Mickey Mantle autograph card in it, maybe? Probably not, right? Because these things probably came from a card shop that was just trying to get rid of some of their cards that aren't really worth grading or selling or whatever. So this isn't going to have your really rare cards in it. Okay, so the grading thing. You need to make sure that your cards are going to grade, at least have an attempt at grading a 10. If you think that the card's that you're going to send in is going to grade, it might get a 9, don't send it in. Don't waste your money. Unless it's, like this West Covington in 1964 or something like that. Unless it's a really old card like that. Then they're worth sending in. And if they're not going to grade a 10. So don't waste your money. Do your due diligence and make sure your cards are worth sending into grading. Steve Braun, Darryl Kyle, Mickey Tettleton, Johnny Paredes, Cleon Jones, 1972 tops, I believe. Jorge Orta, Randy Jones, Felix Jose, Jamie Navarro, Jeff Lauser. So, okay. Is it worth it? I don't know. It's going to be close. The Chipper Jones jersey card kind of saves this thing. Maybe that Tony Gwynn. If that Tony Gwynn's a rookie, it'll definitely save this thing. You had the King Griffey Jr. rookie card. Okay, so let's see. Bob Johnson. That card's probably not worth anything. Just a few dollars. This King Griffey Jr. rookie card. Steve Yeager's not worth anything. Let's see. Paul Molitor. Where's that other? Oh yeah, here. So, okay, Paul Molitor. It's a fourth-year card for Paul Molitor. This is a cool one. This Chuck Cottier, 1962 tops. It's a pretty cool card. Yeah, these ones: Harold Baines, Eric Davis, Don Mattingly, Jose Rijo, 85 Donruss. That Reggie, pretty cool. Jack Akers, that one looked like it might be worth some money, but not enough. It's not going to be worth enough to send into grading, I don't think, because it's not going to grade. Now that one, maybe close. And I don't collect Chuck Cottier, right? So it's not really worth anything. The collector's choice cards are cool. King Griffey Jr. Again, might grade a 9. So, is this thing worth $100? Maybe. But it's going to cost me more money to make it worth $100, that's for sure. What it's worth without sending cards into grading, I don't think we pulled enough value out of it to make it worth it without sending stuff into grading. So, got some decent cards out of it. There's some cool cards in there, that's for sure. Like the Don Baylor card. That thing is in really good condition, right? It may be worth grading. So that's kind of what you're looking at with this this mystery pack thing for about $100. Not sure what the company is that makes this stuff, but got it on eBay. 24 packs per box. 10 cards per pack. On average, 3 auto jersey or redemption cards per box. Huh. All right, cool. Thanks, guys, for watching. Again, this is Claude from C&G Rip House. My name is Jeremy. Claude's my fire department nickname. But and Garrett's my partner, and we're going to be building a website soon, and probably going to be putting a bunch of these cards onto that website. Hopefully, we'll get some traffic on there, get some cards moving on the website. We're thinking about building in a hosting thing. So I don't know. We'll be looking at stuff. One of these days, we hope to have a brick and mortar shop here in Lubbock. So we'll get there. We're just going to work at it. All right, y'all have a good day. C&G Rip House, Lubbock, Texas.